Now, let us talk about optics, because Second Take is about power optics. You cannot hide a political surname in Southern Africa. It introduces itself. Now consider the deeper political satire here. The Mugabe era was built on the projection of invincibility, a presidency that stretched for decades, a leadership style that centralized authority, a political brand that blurred the line between state and individual. For years, the Mugabe name symbolized power that did not bend easily. Today, that same surname is reportedly navigating investigators, spokesperson briefings, and court processes in a foreign jurisdiction. That is not just a legal development. That is the collapse of inherited political atmosphere. And Africa is quietly watching, because across the continent, there is an unspoken expectation that the children of powerful leaders will live insulated lives, protected by wealth, networks, and historical prestige. The assumption is not always legal immunity, but social immunity. The idea that consequences arrive differently when your surname once commanded a nation. This is where satire stops being funny and starts being uncomfortable. Because liberation politics promised dignity for the ordinary African. Yet decades later, the headlines still involve elite spaces and vulnerable workers. The gardener becomes the quiet center of the story, critically injured, unnamed in global headlines, while the surname dominates the narrative. That, too, is political commentary. Now, add another layer: transnational legacy. Legacy does not retire when leaders die. It decentralizes. This is not about presumption of guilt or innocence. That remains the domain of the courts. This is about perception, and perception is political currency. The image of a Mugabe surname reportedly in handcuffs in Johannesburg travels faster than any legal clarification ever will. Optics move quicker than verdicts. For a continent still negotiating the relationship between liberation history and democratic accountability, moments like this are symbolically loud because they quietly ask a question many societies avoid. When the era of revolutionary power ends, what happens to the families that inherited its aura? Do they transition into ordinary citizens, or do they continue to move within the psychological shadow of past authority? Hyde Park, it seems, offers one possible answer. The suburb does not recognize liberation mythology as a legal category. A surname that once shaped national narratives is now reportedly part of a narrative shaped by investigators. Not ministers, not party loyalists, not state broadcasters, investigators. No speeches, no rallies, no revolutionary slogans, just a docket with the name Mugabe in it.